Hey, everybody. Welcome. Glad you're along today. Good to see you. And it's time again for our daily distinction. And I realized as I was doing this, I forgot to sign in on Instagram and get us live there. So let's get that set up while everybody's joining in live on Instagram. Ta-da. Hope everybody is having a good Sunday. Hope everything is great wherever you are. Now we are live on Instagram as well. So hope everybody's doing great. Another weekend at home, huh? It seems that way. So here we are today. By the way, big thanks. A little bit later on this afternoon, I'm going to be participating in a conference call and a online webinar with Dirk Beverage. And if you're on LinkedIn, check out Dirk Beverage. D-I-R-K, and then like beverage. And you'll find Dirk, and you'll check in with you there with the webinar that he's doing today about how we continue to conduct business. What do we do during this changing time? So anyway, let's start. I want to say hi to some folks. Hey, Marilyn, watching on Instagram, and that was a fantastic post that you had about your mom. I saw that on Facebook, and that was terrific. Happy Sunday to you, Ted. Glad that you're here. I know that you're going to be joining the program with Dirk a little bit later on as well, so glad you're going to be watching that, and glad that you're here. I got a couple things we're going to be talking about today that I promised. One is the one thing that you absolutely need to be doing during this time that we're all kind of locked down, that we're all kind of quarantined or semi-quarantined or whatever the right terminology is, but we're all in the house. So thank you for joining in, and we're going to share that in just a moment as everybody's signing on. Everybody's jumping in here. Talene, sunny day in Crothersville. Hey, glad to hear that. That's good. It's kind of partly sunny here in Vegas today, but I know some real bad thunderstorms went through Indiana and some of the Midwest yesterday. And my pal Ann Handley is watching live on Instagram. So glad that you are here, Ann. You are the best. If you don't subscribe to Ann Handley's newsletter, it comes out every other week. What in the world is wrong with you? Get on that, because it is the best newsletter out there. It comes out every couple of weeks, and Ann is just a superbly special person. So thanks, Ann. How you doing? Good to see you. And hey to Tom watching on Facebook right now. So I promised two things today. One is what you should be doing. One thing you absolutely have to do while you are locked down. And the second thing are three things that I learned from Tiger King that apply to our lives and to our business. And so the three things I learned from Tiger King, and the one thing that you absolutely have to be doing during this downtime that we all have. Oh, good to know that it's sunny in Chicago. Tammy, my bride, is watching on Instagram today rather than on Facebook. Hi, sweetie. You need to be watching on Facebook, because you're going to see something here that I can't put on Instagram because of the connection, but that you need to see. How's that for talking to your wife? Alan got 2 puppies 2 weeks ago. Oh, man. Talk about a time that you need to be home, huh? Oh, good grief. Puppy training. Hey, Lynn. Haven't seen you forever. Good to see you. Rick, great to see you. Okay, so let's get started with the one thing that you really have to be doing. And that one thing, and I'm glad that you're here and watching this. I'm not going to suggest that. But the one thing you absolutely have to be doing is reading. You do. You need to get a book. You need to read. Now, naturally, as a business author, my hope is that you're going to read a business book or that you're going to read a personal development book. But great fiction is important too. This is that time that all those things you wish that you could do, all those things that you wish you had time to do, now is the time to take advantage of that. So the one thing that you absolutely have to be doing, yes, we get on social media. I get that, and that's all great, and it's all important, and it's all a lot of fun. But the other thing that we absolutely need to be doing is that we need to be reading. We need to be reading. So what are you going to read? By the way, there's no excuse for not reading. You probably have books at home that you bought and you thought, I'm going to get around to someday, and you haven't. There's got to be, you could order from Amazon. They're still delivering books, or you can get from Kindle. So one of the things I wanted to do, so there wouldn't be any excuse whatsoever about somebody not reading, is I created a promotion for my book, All Business is Still Show Business, that you can go and download the Kindle version absolutely free starting tonight at midnight. Takes Amazon a while to get it set up. So you can get my book, All Business is Still Show Business, absolutely free starting at midnight. I can set it up to run that way for 2 days. So for 2 days, you can download the book absolutely free. It's through Amazon. I don't get a cent from it. But whatever book you read, I don't want there to be any excuse for you not reading something, because we got to keep our minds engaged, and we got to continue to think and to learn and to grow and to use this period of time, not as a time just to veg out, but a time to stimulate our thinking in ways that we really haven't had time to do in the past. You've heard me say here, we get so busy doing what we do that we often don't have time to think about what we do. So what we have to do is to be able to think and to contemplate and to study and to read those things that we put off. So whatever it is, what you need to do is to take at least a little bit of time and read. There is something about reading that's different than merely observing. There's something about reading that's different from merely just watching. So get in there and read. All right? So, hey, Roger Crawford is here. Good to see you. Dan, good afternoon. Marilyn, hi. Catherine is here too. Gosh, we got the whole Crawford family with us. Charles is going to be heading to the Ozarks. There you go. You bet. Oh, I'm cutting in and out. I don't know what to do about that. That has got to be based on the internet here, and there's nothing else that I can do here on this end to prevent that. Because of we are getting some intermittent. I was just looking to see the internet's up here. We are getting some intermittent challenges with our web here where we live. It's dropped out a couple of times completely, and so I am sorry that I'm cutting in and out. And since both Laura here in Vegas and Dan in New Jersey are seeing that, it's obviously something on my end, not yours. So the wind is cutting you out bad. Oh man, sorry about that. It looks as it's not happening on Instagram here. So which is maybe, I don't know, maybe that's a lower bandwidth. I even cut the output bandwidth down to try to avoid that problem. Let me check here and see if we can go even lower. And once you start, you can't change it. So, because I was trying to cut it down to a low bandwidth. Michael says no issues on Periscope. Isn't that crazy? So it's something then evidently with Facebook and what's going on there. So, Michael, thank you for helping out there. Gosh, well, I'm just going to keep going and maybe it'll pick back up. Coming in loud and clear on Instagram. Okay, thank you for that. I appreciate that. Okay, so if it cut out and you didn't hear, just go showbizbook.com/free. Starting at midnight tonight, it will take you to where you need to be on Amazon to download the ebook absolutely free. So it's something I was able to set up with Amazon, but it takes a while for it to get set up, so it's not able to go until midnight tonight. But whatever it is, no matter what the book is, no matter what you end up doing, read something. Now is the time to be reading and learning and going from there. So, hey, Ann, great to see you. And who else did I miss? Better now, Ted? Okay, that's good. Catherine on Instagram. And like I said, great to see you. I saw that you were watching the Verve service this morning. Tammy and I attended church, online this morning, which was really, really terrific what they're doing at Verve here. So all good. So that's the thing. Everybody's on Facebook right now overloading. Vicki, I think you might be exactly right. It's crazy because so many folks are on Facebook and so many folks are downloading from Netflix. I haven't seen if they're doing it here in the States, but I have seen several stories about how Netflix is lowering the quality of their signal to save bandwidth because everybody's home watching Netflix, which good segue here. That leads us into Tiger King, which I just finished watching last night. Oh my gosh. It's hey, Sherry saying, sitting here updating my Google business page, have to make sure folks can find me. Yeah, right. Now's a great time to be doing those kinds of things. Ann says that Instagram isn't cutting out as much. And Siri heard me saying something there. And Catherine says it's much better on Instagram as well. So that's good. Whoop, as he bumps his phone and screws up his Instagram feed there. Okay, let's go. There. Better stick to Apple TV, full throttle. Yeah, absolutely. It's crazy what all is going on out there, isn't it? So, okay. So I wanted to talk about, went over to Instagram on your page and no video. Laura, we've got several folks watching it now on Instagram. So I don't know what's going on there. But it is on Instagram. It's on IGTV. So maybe we can find it. Hey, Rick, good to see from you. All good at the K2 Ranch in Texas. Glad to know that. All right, so Tiger King. Have you watched it? A quick poll. Have you watched Tiger King on Netflix yet? It is a 7-episode documentary that you can binge or you can watch an episode at a time. And, oh my gosh. It is just when you think it can't get any crazier, just when you think this can't get any weirder, it's just amazing. If you would have told me that one of the big things over this time would be a tiger owning gay radical, where do you even begin to describe that? I mean, it's just incredible. It's Catherine says the guy's a wingnut. Absolutely right. Rick, it burned my eyes. Absolutely. Blake, hey, see that you saw it's the number one show on Netflix right now, which is crazy because Ozark came out this weekend. More people are watching Tiger King than Ozark. Now, I think cumulatively, it probably Ozark. I can't wait to get into that. A lot of buddies were telling me they're 3, 4, 5 episodes in. I noticed that Charles said he was going to Ozark here before too long. Catherine, you are right. It is, you know, if you're going to wear a mullet, certainly you could do better than that one, right? And his dye job is not very effective, and it's a train wreck. I mean, it's like a car wreck as you're driving down the road and you can't take your eyes off of it. It's just unbelievable. It's just incredible. However, there are 3 things that I observed that we can all learn from Tiger King. See, I'm trying to get a lesson out of everything. Anything that you can get a lesson out of, here are things that you get a lesson out of. Scott, it's jaw-dropping. Scott says he hasn't seen Tiger King, and it's just, when you think it can't get any weirder, then there's something else happens, and it's true. I mean, it's a documentary. But here are 3 things I took away from it that are kind of things we all need to be thinking about in all seriousness. Number 1 is associate with those who share, not just take. One of the things that I noticed about the people that were involved with the major characters is that all those major characters seem to be people who only took and didn't really give back that much. Whether it is the woman running the sanctuary in Florida that has all of those people working incredible hours for free, or whether it's the Tiger King that's paying $150 a week for people that are working almost around the clock doing horrible jobs, or whether it's, you know, the guy in the Carolinas that, ends up with a cultish harem. All of those were people that I didn't sense really for any of them, really. Of those people that worked with the 3 major characters, I didn't sense that any of them were better because of the influence that they had. In other words, the 3 major characters, the people that they influenced, those people always ended up in, I thought, a worse situation as a result of that connection than having been better and grown through the experience. Even the one gal that got away from the guy in the Carolinas and got back to Iowa didn't seem like she was better off for that experience. Blake, yes, it is a fascinating story. So one of the things that we can learn from that is you want to be with people who share and help you grow, not just people who take and take and take. Make certain that you are with people, there are, I forget who the speaker is, but there's somebody that talked about the energy drainers. It's like they plug their lives into yours as a way to keeping their batteries charged. And once they drain all your energy, then they unplug and go to somebody else and plug in there. And they're just the people that take your energy and take it away. And one of the things that really struck me about this is the importance of the decisions that we make of the people with whom we associate. And that the people with whom we associate have to be those who share their energy and who help us and help us grow, not just people who take from us and take our energy and take, the very essence of what's really important. Monica posts, that's why I never liked Seinfeld. I couldn't stand any of the characters except for Kramer because they were all so self-absorbed. I get that. I think that's probably why the finale of Seinfeld goes down as one of the most disappointing finales of all time, because it was all about how self-absorbed they were, and it didn't really pay off. But anyway, in Tiger King, that was the first lesson I really thought about, is when you look at all the people that associated with those three main characters, all the people around them, their lives did not get better because of who they are. Okay, here's the second thing. Did you notice when the Tiger King ran for president and ran for governor, how much his zoo deteriorated? One of the things that I noticed from that is distraction can destroy your purpose. You have to be centered on what your purpose is and avoid the distractions and the temptations along the way. When the Tiger King's finances and his situation started to erode is when he was distracted from the central purpose that he had of the facility that he had in Oklahoma. But we see this happen in so many different lives, in so many different people, that distraction can destroy your purpose. So what does that mean? It means that, first of all, we have to have a purpose. If you don't know what your purpose is, there's a great place to start, right? If you're not certain of that, that might be something you can work on during this time here. As I mentioned before, we have that 14-day program on our website that's absolutely free. There's nothing there for you to buy, nothing that you get upsold on. It's just our way of helping during this challenging time, and it might help you discover what your priorities are, what your purpose is. But once you know that, distraction can take you away from that. Yeah, Ted, distinction, not distraction. That's what we have to focus on. I've told this story on a podcast. Really, I've never told it from the stage, but one time I told on a podcast something that happened to me when I was a senior in high school. As folks in the Crothersville, my hometown area, will remember, my dad and his brothers had a band, a country music band, and they were kind of the band in our area. And they would play just about every event that happened in the area, either as the opening act for a touring show, or we played at the Legion and the VFW and at wedding reception. You name it, we played there. And it was Dad and his brothers, and I played drums. And we opened a show for a country music singer named Jim Ed Brown. Now, I'm a senior. My purpose at that time was my role in FFA, the student organization. And we play this show, and I play the drums, and afterwards, there were two shows, and between the two shows, after the first show, Jim Ed Brown came to me and offered me to be the drummer in his band. And I said, well, I'm a senior in high school. And Jim Ed said, well, you can get your GED. That's not, I'm not looking for a graduate. I'm looking for the best drummer I can get, and I want you to be the drummer in our band. And I said, well, give me a couple days to think about it. And one of the things that I realized through my dad's guidance is there's a heck of a lot of difference between playing drums and being a drummer. Being a drummer meant that was my purpose. I could play on the weekends. I could play drums and have fun in either Dad's band or couple other bands I was playing in, and I could play drums. But to quit school and to move to Nashville and get on a tour bus and do all that kind of stuff, that meant my purpose was that I was going to be a drummer. I was very, very fortunate that I learned at 18 years old that there's a difference between your purpose and playing around. And because I didn't take my eyes off my purpose, which at that time was FFA, but that's what led to speaking and what led to everything that's happened to me since. Because I didn't get distracted from that, I've been able to live more on target with my purpose. But I think a lot of folks get distracted, hey, squirrel, shiny new object, and we lose that essential focus that makes an incredible difference in our lives. So what I want you to notice in Tiger King is that when he gets distracted with, and so much of it is ego-centered in running for office and doing all that, when he gets so distracted in that destroyed his purpose. So that was one of the things I learned, is that distraction can destroy your purpose. But here's the last thing that I learned of the three things from Tiger King, and that is that revenge is a cancer. Look at what has happened. I mean, none of those folks ended up better because the animosity that has been spread. And especially, here's a guy now who finally gets what he wants, right? Which is fame, which is being recognized, which is being known. He finally gets that. And he's in a county jail cell for years. And he can't get the adoration that he longed for. And it kind of makes it interesting at the end, too, talking about now he's the one that's in a cage. There might be people in your line of work. There might be people that you work with. There might be clients that you have had. There might be family members in your life that have wronged you. Let it go. Not for their benefit, for yours. Trying to get revenge is an absolute cancer. My late wife, Sherry, was involved with a cancer foundation. And one of the things there that Greg Anderson, who was the founder and the CEO of the organization, always talked about was that anytime you met someone that had cancer, his first question to them is, who do you need to forgive? Who do you need to just let it go? And he reported unbelievable responses to that in terms of people's health improving or their lives improving or whatever it might be, simply because they let it go. And it's in part perhaps the Christian principle of forgiveness. It just is in part what is good, because we know that stress can kill. But when you see the end of that, think of how much different his life would have been and would be at this very moment if he was just simply willing to let it go. Don't let revenge or the desire to get even become a cancer in your life. I've had a couple times in my life that folks who know me well know what I'm talking about, where, boy, I was wronged and I wanted to prove to the world that I had been wronged, or I wanted to prove to the world that some of the things that some people had said about me wasn't true, and on and on and on and on. And, at the end of the day, what I had to do was just let it go. And my life got a heck of a lot better when I did. And I think the same's true for you. I am not saying forgive the unforgivable, but I am saying there's a time we need to let it go. So those are the three things that I learned from watching that crazy Tiger King documentary series. And the three, again, are associate with those who share with you and not just take. Second is that distraction can destroy your purpose. And the third is revenge is a cancer in your life. Just let it go. Well, that takes care of what I was going to talk about for today. Thank you so much for joining. Gosh, we got a whole bunch of folks here on Instagram today. Hey, Jake, great to see you. As always, you're the best. And thanks to everybody here on Facebook. I'm sorry we've been cutting out. I don't know exactly what it is, because it seems like Facebook is the only place that we're cutting out, because we aren't on Instagram. It appears that we're not on Twitter Periscope. We're not on YouTube Live cutting out. So it must be a Facebook kind of thing, I'm guessing here. So I'll check that out, see what we can do to make it better tomorrow. I will be here every day, same time, same place, wherever you're watching now. And again, starting at midnight tonight, you can get my book, All Business is Still Show Business, the Kindle version, absolutely free. Just go to showbizbook.com/free. I'll have it back on there tomorrow. It's just something I'm trying to provide to give you something to read, stimulate your thinking, get you thinking about business, whatever, during this incredible time of challenge and change. Showbizbook.com/free. That will be available to you starting at midnight tonight. All right, everybody. Thanks so much. Look forward to seeing you right here, same time tomorrow. Sorry I've been cutting out for those of you on Facebook, and I'll post a link to YouTube, which will have the replay that won't have any cutouts if you get a chance to watch that. All right. Thanks, everybody. Great seeing you. As always, look forward to seeing you right back here again tomorrow.